It's your boy Conservist34. Today we remember and celebrate the life of Leroy Moore. It's August 19th, 2020, and he did pass away on this date back in 2008. So rest in peace to Leroy Moore. We think and remember you. We will forever. We're going to talk about the Dave Matthews Band DriveIn, which just finished up about an hour ago. And it celebrated the last show that Leroy Moore was on stage with the Dave Matthews Band. This was from June 28th, 2008. He got in an ATV accident and subsequently passed from injuries in August of 2008 on August 19th. So the original poster from the show is a very popular and valuable one. And for the Dave Matthews Band DriveIn, they released a variant reissue of this poster, meaning the colors and the shades are slightly different than the original one you could buy at the concert back in 2008. And it does not have the Dave Matthews Band DriveIn signage or logo. It's everything as far as the font and writing is all the same. As the original, in the photo itself is the same as far as the structure of it. It's just the colors and shades are varied or different. I think this is a great thing. I am excited that they did this, and I hope they do this more. I think that this gives access to a show that is special to people who weren't even there, who may have not even been fans at the time. May not even been to a show at the time. By the time this show came out in 08, I hadn't been to a show yet. I was a fan, sure, but I hadn't gone to a Dave Matthews Band show. But this is a special show. So the poster has an awesome part in people's heart, even if they didn't go. Now more fans will have access to this. And the other thing is collectors of the original poster. Keep in mind, back in 2008, buying posters at a show and collecting them weren't as big of a widespread thing for Dave Matthews Band fans as it is now. So if you got that poster either through the resale market or at the show, one of the cool things is the poster is double-sided. So now they can hang the original poster with the front facing, and you can buy a variant copy today. And the back of that poster, you can have the writing on the back of that poster then be displayed right next to it. And a lot of people are doing that have access or have purchased the original show poster, day of show original release poster. So now they can have one of each. That's awesome. And then the other thing, this doesn't say Dave Matthews Band DriveIn. That's going to bring in a more larger market of fans. It's going to bring in more demand for this reissued print. And the print is at the face value of what you would buy a poster for nowadays. So that is also cool because many people have not been able to afford the original. And now, look, you get a variant. It's not the original, but it's still pretty darn close. And since it's a variant, it's going to preserve the value of the original. If you have the original, yes, you may not be able to sell it for as much on eBay or through poster collector community forums, but it's still going to be valuable because it's different. Now, some of the poster diehards are upset. They're angry. Not all of them, but you are getting some people who are upset. One of the things that is laughable to me is that people are calling this lazy. Now, you know me. I've called out the Dave Matthews Band for what I think is lazy marketing, lazy releases, things that weren't put together well thought out, like the Hollywood Bowl release, right? But this is not lazy. This is actually catering to a very, very thirsty poster community, and they're also preserving the original, like I said, right? And this is also a show that people are talking about, oh, I want to have my value. I want to be able to flip it for this amount. This is a show that commemorates the last show of a band member who's passed. So they're giving access to people for a fair price to get this poster so that their hearts can be warmed to look across their room and they're having a rough day, or they're having a hard time in life, and they can see that poster and it reminds them of Roy and about how life is short and sweet for certain. So I don't think it's lazy. I think this is smart. And because it doesn't say drive-in, it's going to sell more, right? I'm more appealed to posters that are reissued than ones that say Dave Matthews Band Drive-In and have a projector screen or popcorn or something like that, because a drive-in purchase to me seemed a little cheaper or less valuable because it says drive-in. When it doesn't say drive-in, it's a reissue of a show, right? To me, that's more cool. It's more valuable because it just is a representation of the show, right? And it has the great art of that show. So it's not lazy. There is a demand. I would hope that this thing continues, right? Just like they re-release vinyls. I know it's slightly different, but for instance, this is the original Songs in the Key of Life vinyl, right? Now, if my dad, before he passed this down to me, kept this in mint condition, I'm still going to make a lot of money if I tried to flip this. Or if I had it in my hung up, right, and this wasn't all bent out of shape, right? This was purchased in the 70s when my dad got it when it came out. If I had this in good condition, it's going to be something I could hang on my wall or keep valuable as is. If the re-release versions over the years aren't as valuable. So this idea that they shouldn't re-release these posters is going to reduce the value. That's a lie. If you have a Dark Side of the Moon original pressed copy from the first batch of them that came out, that's still valuable, even though this thing, Dark Side of the Moon, has been reissued and released and put digitally in a CD and tape, all this other stuff. It doesn't matter. If you have original, it's still going to have its value. But I think that more people should have access to the art. More fans should be able to get a second edition or a variant edition of a poster so that they can have that instead of having just the original release and that's it, right? And the people that are mad in the poster community, a lot of these people, they're trying to flip these, and there's nothing wrong. If you flip something for your money, you get what you get, right? If someone's willing to pay for it, that's fine. But some of them have been hoarding 2 or 3 of these posters from this Bristol, Virginia show, right? They're holding these thinking they're going to make a killing in a couple years, or if they really need the money. And that's a risk you take, but the thing is, it's still valuable. You're not going to be able to make as much as you could have made a couple weeks ago or a day ago, but it's still a valued item, and you're just upset because you can't flip it for more money, all right? That's part of the risk you take, and I don't think it's an unfair thing because, first of all, you're trying to sell 2 or more of these. And that's the thing is some of these people are just hoarders and flippers, and look, that's your business, but this is part of the game. I could understand if they released the same exact colors and shades and tints, and then it devalues the original, or or they actually had some originals hanging around they didn't release at the show, and then they just sold those. No, they're preserving your original as a special thing and giving people who want a variant option some ability to purchase this. And I've always thought that just releasing the at concert edition of a poster, to me, in the Dave Matthews Band community is sad. I mean, I think that there should be more variants, right? The Gold Pour, the Gorge Sperry, some of the Slater females, right? Like they actually did that one for the drive-in last week. I thought that was cool. So that one, a Big Apple Slater, right? Where it's a redhead who's holding an apple. I think that there should be more access to these posters, second editions, third editions. It doesn't devalue the original, and it also does really deter people from trying to make a killing on a flip. You can make money on a flip if you have an original, but when you give more access, it mellows out the market. And it's not going to devalue a print, right? The original Gorge Sperry, the original Gold Pour, these are valuable purchases. And if there's a variant or a reissue or re-release, people are still going to want the original at a higher price than whatever is re-released. But what it'll do is it'll give fans like me, I will buy a reissued or variant Gorge Sperry. I was at that show, and I would love for it to be the same exact setup, maybe a different color. Look, the chick could look a little less attractive, right? All right, she's not as beautiful. I will still buy it, right? But I will have access to it. I understand the original is going to cost me a penny, and that's my option to decide to buy it or not. But art should be more accessible, and you can still preserve the value. Like I said, these vinyls that my pops has, right? His Stevie Wonders, Inner Visions, Hotter Than July, right? These are valued items. If these were in mint condition, these are original. These were purchased by my dad the year that they came out. But you know, they were worn and torn. But if I had these 100% clean and pressed, and it was good and well, and it, you know, there would be more value to that than someone who bought this from the store today. And that's going to be the same thing if they continue to reissue these and there's a demand. It's not lazy. There is a huge demand for these posters. And it'll give a little bit more value. The artist can make a little bit more money, but the artist is not compromised, or their value of the originals are not compromised by a second edition coming out. Because if that was the case, then all right, Pink Floyd re-releases this and remasters it and adds a couple of tracks to Dark Side of the Moon, and then their art would be useless right now. No one would want to listen to Dark Side of the Moon because it was a bunch of reissues. No, that's not true. Good art is good art, right? And I think there should be more access while giving the collectors a special value to what they purchased years ago, or they purchased from someone else at a higher price to get the value of that original. Let me know what you guys think. It's your boy ConcertViz34. Yes, I'm being positive about the Dave Matthews Band. Want to know what you guys think? I think this is a great idea. I think more re-releases should come. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Peace.